morning, girls, and welcome back to a new video. I am excited for today's video because we are now a few weeks into summer. I've been filming a few videos talking about how the summer is a little bit different, how I have everybody home in the house with me. And over the last couple of weeks, it has definitely been a huge adjustment. I am obviously a mother to 2 children. I also own my own business. I'm a content creator. I run a membership site and I have my one-on-one nutrition practice. So with all of that on my plate and so much on each and every one of your plates, I know because I talk with you frequently, you all are also very busy girls. It can be hard sometimes in the summer to keep up with the pace. We are definitely staying up significantly later. Last night, the kids did not go to bed until 10 o'clock at night. Now I know I'm the mother and that is on my plate. As one of the parents in the home, I fully recognize that that was self-inflicted. However, with that being said, we were swimming late, we went out to dinner, we came home, we made popcorn, we watched a movie. I am trying to give my children the very best, most incredible summer of their lives. In order to do that, I need to have next level mom energy. And so I did a video, I think it was a month ago, and it honestly kind of took off. And it was why you're always tired, even if you eat clean and you do all of the right things. Well, this is kind of a parlay, a follow-up to that video, because we are going to unlock the highest level of mom energy that you have inside of your body. We are going to go through a little checklist, all of my favorite tips and tricks to unlock your highest potential of energy. Because if you're like me, you're juggling it all right now. I'm trying to keep the house clean, which I was just cleaning things up behind me before I turned on the camera. I'm trying to keep the house clean. I'm trying to obviously nurture my children, love on my children, spend every moment I possibly can with them, have them do a little bit of mom school, I'm calling it. I'm also trying to run my business, which is thriving right now, and I am so grateful for that. But my business, my lab reviews, our membership site, everything is through the roof. It's on the up and up. So I need my energy to be on the up and up to keep up with this pace of life and the way that things are going. So for today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 different buckets. It's not going to be a running list of 10 or 15 things, which I do love, like a 10-part list, but that's not today's video. We will save that for a separate video. Today's video falls into 3 buckets of things that you can do. Easy breezy for the summertime that is going to help your energy potential exponentially and help you stay steady and motivated throughout the day so that you can enjoy your summer. You can be present with your family and at the same time check everything off your list that needs to get done. Okay, so the first bucket we're going to talk about, remember there's 3 buckets today that we are focusing on. Bucket number 1 is balancing your blood sugar. So I just finished my protein coffee. I said I was frantically cleaning up in here and I took my protein coffee downstairs as I was getting ready. I had my lemon ginger tonic first thing in the morning. This flushes out your digestive system. It clears any stagnation from phase 1 or phase 2 detoxification from your liver and your digestive system. That is a beautiful way to help stabilize your body and your metabolic response first thing in the morning. From there, and we do the salt under the tongue. Salt under the tongue, lemon ginger tonic on an empty stomach. We're flushing, we're purifying, okay? Then we move on to protein. My protein coffee recipe, it's been like nearly 20 months since I came up with this recipe. And it's different than many of the protein coffees you see out there where it's just protein powder and coffee. This is gelatin. We're using gelatin and we're using whole milk. We are using a tiny bit of protein powder. That's a me problem. I don't love protein powder in my coffee. We're using collagen. We're using inulin, fiber. We're also using creatine. This is a new addition to the protein coffee in the last like 8 months. And so 35 grams of bioavailable, because I know what you're thinking. I hear you. I'm listening, girls. You're thinking, well, it's not a full source, a complete source of protein. Well, yes, it is, because we are using whole milk, and the milk gives us those missing amino acids, the tryptophan that we're missing from the gelatin and the collagen. When you combine it with dairy, it becomes a complete protein. So 35 grams of protein first thing in the morning. after the lemon ginger tonic. So now, today, it is currently 7:37 a.m. I've had my lemon ginger tonic. I've had my protein coffee. We're gonna head downstairs and I'm going to make a clean, simple eats. I've just been craving this so much on the weekdays. It is like a work day. I feel like I'm on summer break. I don't know what day it is, to be quite honest with you. It's a Wednesday. Today is a Wednesday when I'm filming this. But on the weekdays, I'm kind of just like wash, rinse, repeat. Same thing every single day because I have such a limited amount of time, a limited amount of extra cognition to be using on like, what should I cook for breakfast? What should I not cook for breakfast? I have to be laser focused on everything I'm doing right now to preserve my energy. And so balancing my blood sugar first thing in the morning is the most beautiful way for myself and for all of you to stabilize and unlock our highest source of energy that we can have throughout the rest of the day. So for me, bucket number one is balanced blood sugar. So wake up in the morning, don't go right to your coffee. I beg of you, even if it's just water, room temperature water with a little salt under your tongue, squeeze a little lemon in there if you can, do a little apple cider vinegar. Obviously, my preference is the lemon ginger tonic. If that's something that you would be open to doing, I will have the recipe for you in the description box down below, as well as the protein coffee recipe. So balanced blood sugar is so important for our stabilized energy because we do not want to be on a blood sugar roller coaster all day, up and down, up and down. So we get a peak of energy from carbs or sugar and then it crashes. So we have to exert our energy to lift it back up. And typically, most of the time, we do this with unhealthy habits, with over caffeinating, with sweet treats, some salty snacks, some quick carbs to boost that energy back up. So we're up and down all day long. Whereas if we start our day in a really balanced way and we continue that momentum through the rest of the day, you will feel so stabilized and your energy will feel steady. In addition to that, your body and your metabolism will begin to trust that it's going to get similar nutrients on a day in and day out basis in a similar time frame. It's like a baby. We remember as mothers when our children, when it was time to put them to bed when they were young, we did the same pattern of things. So whether it was the bath, turn down the lights, start the essential oils, rub the lotion on them, put them in their pajamas, swaddle them up, we would feed them in the dark room, turn on the sound machine. All of those cues alerted to them to start producing that melatonin to go to bed. Similarly, all of the cues that you give your body as an adult, because our bodies are the same, whether when we were born or in our adult life, we have just unfortunately been caught up in a society where we bulldoze through many of these cues. But all of these cues help your body feel safe, which we're going to get to that bucket next. I feel like this is such a spoiler alert, but it helps your body to feel safe to exert energy evenly throughout the day because it's not worried about that roller coaster that maybe it's previously been on. When we provide safety and a safety net of protein-rich foods, fiber-rich foods that stabilize our blood sugar, our body will give off consistent energy throughout the day and it will feel safe enough to do so, knowing that it doesn't need to hold back and conserve energy for later in the afternoon when we have an absolute crash. So we're gonna head downstairs. We're going to put together a clean, simple eats to really bring up my protein. After that, and my protein coffee, I'm at 65 grams of protein and it's not even 8 a.m. That to me is the biggest win of all time. So if I can shift and if I can influence, I don't like to use the word influence, but I think that's what we're gonna go with. If I can encourage you and influence you to do anything, it would be to start the day with the lemon ginger tonic. Have that protein coffee if you drink coffee. If it's matcha, do it with matcha. If not, you can move right into your protein-rich breakfast. But I would encourage you to really front load that protein first thing in the morning. It will be such a game changer for you, for your energy, for your clarity, for your mood. You will feel so much happier. And last week I did an entire video on quick ways to feel happier, and I will have that linked for you in the description box down below. But you will feel so much happier and energized throughout the day when you kind of stack these habits on top of each other. It is so much more supportive to your body and your bodies and your nervous system, that's coming, and your nervous system's level of safety because it gets used to this consistency and this routine. As I finish up my greens, which I've been getting a ton of questions about my greens. So if you've been a subscriber of my channel for a long time, then you know I love AG1. I truly love their greens so much. Like, I salivate thinking of the taste of AG1. But I've had a lot of people, one, who can't stomach AG1 because of certain ingredients in there. Some of the prebiotics, the probiotics, and the fiber is troublesome for their digestive system. There's also a subset of people who just can't tolerate the taste of AG1. While I love the taste, many people don't. I do encourage you, if you're somebody who does take AG1, I will put some B-roll here on the screen, but I always pour like half an ounce of lemon ginger tonic in it. Then I put my AG1 in there. I mix it up with some cold water, some ice, I drink it down, and I think it tastes delicious. But I know everybody's taste profile is very different. In addition to that, the price point of athletic greens is high. Now, I'm somebody who does invest in my health. Like, I'm not going out for cocktails and fancy dinners multiple nights per week. I would rather invest that into the food that I eat at home, the supplements that I take, which we're going to get into here next. The supplements that I take at home, to me, that investment is always worth it. It's worth it for how I feel, how my energy is, how I'm able to show up on a daily basis. And so I'm always willing to make that investment. However, I know that there are certain things that other people would rather invest in versus their greens. And so I did try this greens from Ancient Nutrition, their super greens, a couple months ago, and I did it live with you girls on a YouTube video. And unfortunately, while I love this brand, I love this brand oh so very much. I take at least 5 of their supplements every day, whether it's the beef liver or the organ complex. The women's vitality blend is one I take every single day. I was hopeful that I would like this one. Even if I take 6 ounces of the lemon ginger tonic and I mix it in here, it's just not good. The flavor of it, obviously it is unflavored, so it is very, very green. And I'm somebody who loves a green juice in general, but this one's a little bit rough. So what I've been doing with this one is adding it into an afternoon smoothie and kind of like slamming it back. And to me, it's a really great way for me to get through these greens. But as somebody who is a functional nutritionist, I have a nutrition practice. I work with thousands of women each year. And so in order to do that, I'm always testing out different products because bio-individuality is very important. And as somebody who has a degree in supplemental science, I'm always trying out different supplements. So I've been getting asked a lot about the different greens that I've been sharing, that I've been mixing. And I have been trying this one from Arbonne actually for about the last, I've been trying it on and off now for about 9 months. I've been consistently only using this one from Arbonne for about 4 months, just to give it a go to see if all of the claims that they're making about the gut health and the skin glow and things that you see that are associated with the green synergy, if they're true. I am somebody who takes really good care of myself, so have I noticed a huge change in my skin? It's hard to say because I'm doing a lot of other things. I did the PRP where they drew my blood. We microneedled it into my face. We injected it into my face. I'm in my sauna. I'm using my red light therapy. I'm doing a lot, but do I like the taste? Yeah, I think it's really delicious. Do I like the way that I feel when I take it? Yeah, I have to say, I really do like the taste. I like the way that it makes me feel. I have no digestive discomfort. Does this mean I'm only ever going to drink the green synergy from Arbonne for the rest of my life? No. Absolutely not. And that's the thing. I always say that when it comes to supplements, I'm somebody who likes to shift and try new things. I have a degree in supplemental science and dietary nutraceuticals, so I do a deep dive into things. And I have to say that the ingredients in here did surprise me, because sometimes I know with like the network direct-to-consumer marketing brands, it can seem as though there's lack of transparency, but I will say they are third-party tested. I did look into the ingredients and they're pretty darn good. The taste is amazing. So as far as AG1 compared to this one, for the longest time I did prefer AG1. I think it's because I was on it for so long. I love the taste. I love the way that it makes me feel. With this one, I do. I really like the taste, and I've been on it consistently, on and off, I said, for 9 months, and consistently for 3 to 4 months, and I do like the way that it makes me feel. So I've seen the questions, I've seen you guys asking me, like, what's the green powder that I'm pouring in? It is this one. I will have a link for you in my description box down below if you want to give this one a try. Otherwise, any other greens powder that you're on, I just encourage you to check the ingredients to make sure that it is third-party tested. This one is definitely third-party tested, and the ingredients are great, but it's the taste, unfortunately, that I cannot get over. And so as far as the second bucket that I want to cover for today's video, of course, has to do with supplementation. Because I'm halfway through my greens, I've had my protein, my blood sugar is feeling extra stable from the protein coffee, and now having the clean, simple eats, I'm going to move on to a little bit of supplementation. I did a video 2 weeks ago. I will have it linked for you in the description box down below. You're seeing the thumbnail here on the screen about how I was preparing for summer and the added supplements that I had purchased to help me feel really sharp, really calm, really organized, and to support my nervous system. So that is exactly the second bucket. It is really hard to put out ample energy if all day long you are feeling high stress. Your body feels like it's constantly, kind of like we talked about with the blood sugar roller coaster. If your body constantly feels like it's being chased by a bear or a lion and you are running away from stress all day long, it is hard. It is actually virtually impossible to have incredible energy and to feel like the best version of yourself when you are fighting that uphill battle. Now, aside from supplementation, and this is all encompassing, this nervous system and adrenal support, aside from supplementation, there's a lot that I want to cover with you girls. We talked about it a little bit last week about taking an afternoon break and doing a little bit of reading and disconnecting, getting your movement in. That's really important. EFT tapping is one of my favorite ways to support your nervous system, and I have spoken at length about EFT tapping and how life-changing it can be, because all you're doing is taking your two hands and you're tapping on different meridians, different pressure points on your body, acupressure points, and you are essentially just tricking your nervous system to focus on something else. But at the same time, you're rewiring and reprogramming your nervous system. I know it seems very woo-woo. I fully understand that. And as somebody who has 4 degrees in science, I want to assure you that using these low-hanging fruit tools that we have that seem a little bit woo-woo can honestly be exponentially more life-changing than many of the things that I'm going to share with you next. So having a healthy nervous system and focusing on nourishing your adrenals is so important. So waking up before your children is a big one. Waking up before that everybody in the house is awake, to have that tonic, to have that quiet time, and then taking intentional breaks throughout the day, recognizing and paying attention to where your stress levels are is really important. So for me, I just check in with my body. If I feel like I'm holding my breath doing the dishes, I'm like, hold on, WTF, Jessica. Let's take a beat. Let's take a deep breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And if I really can't snap myself out of that moment or that cycle of stress, that loop, I will take a minute and I will do some EFT tapping. If I have the opportunity, I will get outdoors with the kids and get in some movement. Or, like I spoke about in last week's video, I will do our afternoon book break. This one, I'm definitely falling more and more in love with it as we go. This is going to be my next read. I just picked this up at Barnes & Noble yesterday. I'm so excited. The girl at the checkout, I was buying a bunch of books for my niece's first birthday, and the girl at the checkout was like, I feel like you would really love this book. And I was like, what? And I picked it up and I looked at the title, I looked at the little description and the bio of the author, and I was like, gosh, she did a really good job profiling me with this book, because it is absolutely right up my alley. So this is going to be my next read. But taking a midday book break, and I talked about this, 1 being a good example for my children, 2 disconnecting from everything that is pulling at our attention is imperative for our nervous system, okay? So this is the time of day that I'm getting through my greens where I bring in some nervous system and adrenal support. So in the video that I did a few weeks ago where I talked about my summer stack, again, that will be linked for you in the description box down below, I talked about saffron. Saffron is pretty much an everyday tool for me, but I'm kind of switching it up. I love the one from Dr. Amen, his the Brain MD brand from Dr. Amen. I love his saffron, but for some reason lately, and again, categorically kind of talking about our greens, again, I was on that one for so long that I've brought back in the life extensions, which I love this one. I brought this back in and my body is hyper responsive to it. And like the greens, as I was saying, I don't recommend this one. I just keep holding it up because my AG one is behind you girls down below the countertop. But again, kind of going back to the greens. I was on Athletic Greens for nearly 2 years. There's nothing wrong with that greens. I love it so very much, but I'm asked about different greens. And as somebody who does research and puts out content in the nutrition space and somebody who has studied supplemental science, it's important to mix these things up. Hence why I switched over to this one from Arbonne. I've been giving it a go. I love it. I love the way I feel on it. Will I be on this forever? No, I won't be on it forever because I will go back to a different one. I will switch things up. Will I come back to this one? Yeah, most definitely. When I'm done giving this like a full year trial, maybe I'll go back to AG1 for a few months. Similar with the saffron, okay? The one from Dr. Amen, the Brain MD, I really love that one, but I find that my body, my adrenals, and my stress response are doing really well with this one from Life Extensions, which I had previously taken for a very long time. I did buy this Saffron Calm Plus for both myself and the kids. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Before you add in any supplements, for your children especially, I would highly encourage you to check with their care team. Before you add any supplements in for yourself, I would highly encourage you to check in with a nutritionist or a care team and take a peek at your labs, which is something I would be more than happy to help you do. But I keep this one in my purse and I keep this one all over the house. And boy, oh boy, is this amazing. But I have to say, it tastes like pool water mixed with like a nickel or a penny. Not the best taste, I have to admit, but I really, really, really like the way it makes me feel, and I love having it on the go, but maybe just have something to drink after you take it. Look at me, what a sales job, right? Maybe just have something to drink after you take it to wash it down because it kind of tastes like you're drinking a pool that was filled with dimes and nickels. That's the best way I can describe it. Other than that, I love using different adaptogens to support my nervous system and my adrenals. Now, you cannot supplement your way out of a nervous system that is constantly being traumatized or put through the ringer. So unless you find the source of stress and you actively work towards supporting that. So like I was saying, if I'm doing the dishes and I'm feeling super stressed out, is it about the dishes? Is it about the fact that I don't feel in control of the home? It's always a deeper reasoning. And when I can look deep inside myself and say like, it's okay to have the house a little bit of a mess. And if it's chaos that's causing this, what routine can I put into place to support the schedule, to support the home, and to make myself feel more settled throughout the day? When I implement that schedule, it feels less chaotic. Then when I'm doing the dishes or the dishes are a little bit behind, I don't stress about it because I know I have that schedule to fall back on. And I did talk about it in that video, again, not to keep pushing that video, but that video I talked about my ChatGPT schedule that I put together for summer mom school. And it's been really, really helpful for us. So you can't out supplement a nervous system that doesn't have regularity, that doesn't feel safe. And so it's really important to do that first before adding in all of these supplements. But ashwagandha, rhodiola, holy basil, lemon balm, I typically take it in the form of tea, are some of my absolute favorite adaptogens. Lion's mane is another one, but when it comes to feeling cool, calm, and collected, these are definitely at the top of my list. And so I'm not going to be taking an ashwagandha right now. I take this every other night with my magnesium breakthrough before bed. But now I am going to be taking one saffron, one of my holy basil, one rhodiola. I won't be doing the spray because I'm taking the Life Extension saffron. one of my magnesium breakthrough because I am going to be taking my vitamin D. This is not in collaboration or sponsorship with the Biooptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough. This is just what I'm currently taking. And then I'm going to be taking quite a bit of vitamin C. I'm testing some things out right now when it comes to high dose vitamin C for adrenal health. I did this about 5 years ago. I wasn't nursing Sawyer, so it had to have been about 5 years ago. I tested very high dose vitamin C because if you've been with me for a while, I was a solo mom for Ronan's first 5 years of life and Sawyer's first 2.5, 3 years of life. I was a solo mom. And so Kaya traveled Monday through Friday. I was on my own with the kids, building a business and building my nutrition practice and putting out content. That was tough. And so my adrenals from, switching careers, becoming stay-at-home mom, building up my practice, they really took a beating during that time. And so I did a little bit of a test of healing and working to heal my adrenals with many things, but doing a high dose vitamin C protocol, and it was really effective. And so personally, there's many things going on in my life and all of your lives that we don't often share publicly or even with our closest family and friends. And so our adrenals sometimes are being taxed day in and day out. And the things that we can do to support them, it's so important to pay attention and to tune in. If you notice that you're startling really easily or that your cortisol is spiking at 9 o'clock at night, that might be time for you to tune in and think like, what could I do right now to support my adrenal health? High protein, lemon ginger tonic, all of those things are imperative. Getting your movement in, taking book breaks throughout the day, disconnecting from technology, all of those things are helpful, but a high dose vitamin C protocol is something that I'm giving a go. So don't worry, I'm documenting it and I will share with you girls probably around mid to late August, my results, the things that I noticed, the changes that I felt and how this all came together and the benefits that I saw. And I will share it with you girls then. But this is our second bucket, is that supporting your adrenal health and your nervous system is so imperative to your energy, because it's kind of like if you want to inflate a raft and there's a hole in the raft and you want your raft and the raft is your energy, okay? So visualize this with me. The raft is your energy that keeps you afloat all day long. It makes you active with your children. It makes you show up with vibrancy in your day-to-day life. It makes you feel happy to clean your home and to do the tasks around the house and to go swimming at the pool and to get your work done when you need to get it done. That is the raft, your raft of energy. But imagine that there is a slow leak. So you just keep pumping your raft up, but things are leaking out. It's never going to fully inflate you to float around and get all of the things done that you need. So even if we eat all of the protein, even if we take our book break, even if we get our walk, if we really don't tune in and work to heal our nervous system and to support our adrenal health, we will always have that slow leak. So it is imperative that we bring in modalities like strategic supplementation, getting ample sleep, eating adequate protein, doing legs up the wall, meditation, EFT tapping, or prayer, whatever it is for you, to calm your body and to allow your body to feel safe. That is truly when we can plug that leak, we can fill up the raft, and you will float around with ample energy throughout the day. And so I hope that that makes sense as to why it is so imperative that we don't just think, oh yeah, my adrenals are taxed or I'm in adrenal fatigue. Like we hear these things made light as jokes, and I do it too, believe you me. But at a certain point, we need to be in the driver's seat and to work with our bodies and to heal these things on a deep systemic level so that we can walk around and we can live our life with the highest level of energy that we can quite possibly give to ourselves and to our family and to our friends. Okay girls, I just popped into the office and I'm taking a peek at the calendar that I have for the rest of this week and looking into next weekend as I begin to meal plan. So when I think about wanting to thrive and having unlimited energy as a mom, I do as much as I can to prepare ahead of time. In addition to that, I am a big fan of syncing my lifestyle, my calendar, and my meals with my cycle. I have an entire playlist here on my channel of cycle syncing videos. I'll have that linked for you in the description box down below. But I do my best to schedule things, whether it is client calls. I do my best to schedule these during ovulation or my follicular phase. I do also my very best to schedule a lot of play dates or social events during that time as well. And deeper than that, when it comes to the meals and the foods that I'm craving, that I'm going to prepare not only for myself, but for my family, I think through this lens. So when you can sync with your cycle and your season of life, because I also fully recognize that many of us are in different phases of our life, but when you can sync with your cycle, your energy, you'll be working with your body rather than against it. I always say our hormones are truly our superpower, but when we work against our hormones and we try to push through the same way every single day, 365 days out of the year, we're truly just working against our natural body's rhythm. And so our infradian rhythm is based on our menstruation, our follicular, our ovulatorial phase, and our luteal phase. And when we can try our very best to schedule the things that we have on our calendar, schedule our meals and our workouts to align with these different phases, our energy will substantially shift and change to help us feel more supported. So I'm looking at this weekend. We do have some family in town and we're traveling this weekend. Literally every single weekend we are traveling and we are hosting. So we're hosting on like Thursday, Friday, and then Friday nights we head out of town for last week and the next upcoming 3 weeks, truly. And so I, during this phase of life, fully recognize that this is just a busy season and I'm here for it. I'm ready for the busy season. But what I'm doing is I'm planning my breakfasts and my lunches to support me. So the Clean Simple Eats is a really easy way to get that protein in. On the weekends, I do things a little bit bigger. So maybe those scrambled eggs, protein pancakes. I can come in with our delicious chia puddings that we have in our Living Well membership site. We have so many beautiful recipes that are launching for summer. Sheet Pan Summer is in full action. Quick, simple breakfasts that'll nourish you and your family for the entire morning are also now live inside Living Well. So I'm looking at this and I'm giving myself permission to slow down this upcoming weekend and allow my body to do deeper work. And I'm going to support that with my schedule the best that I can, with my supplements the best that I can, and with protein-rich grounding meals. So definitely our energy ebbs and flows, of course, throughout the month, throughout the day, throughout the week. Anything we can do to schedule our meals and our social calendar to align with our cycle will help us tremendously. So that's what I'm in here doing now. I'm just in the office taking a peek at this because energy isn't something that we should chase. It's something that we can cultivate and we can align with little by little with the habits that we spoke about today and synchronistically working with our biology. If you're somebody who feels like you could use a little bit more support with your energy, I would highly encourage you to join our Living Well July Challenge, our Fuel and Flow mid-year energy reset. You can come in for the first 2 weeks for free on me, but for the next 5 weeks, starting this current week when you're seeing this video, we are working on a daily basis, super simple things like getting sunlight, getting in movement, very easy actionable steps that are supported with lifestyle practices, meals, and beautiful supplementation. So if you're somebody who wants a little bit more support, you can come in for the first 2 weeks free and then it's 40 cents a day after that. But I would highly encourage you to join our Fuel and Flow Challenge because you will come out at the end of July with a whole new sense of energy and vitality. Your nervous system will be deeply supported. Your nutrient buckets will be overflowing. Your metabolism will feel safe. Your adrenals and your nervous system will be nourished and also safe as well. So if you're interested, I will have that linked for you in the description box down below. as well as the first pinned comment. And I hope that you liked today's video, and I hope that you saw the just 3 simple buckets of balancing your blood sugar, supporting your adrenals and your nervous system, and syncing your cycle with your week, your days, your months, and your season of life can help you unlock next level energy. It doesn't have to be a 10-step process. It really can be 3 simple steps that help you begin to cultivate this next level energy today. And it doesn't take hours on end. So if you liked today's video, you can let me know by giving a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click. That way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.